Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. This is SmartTCG, and today I'm going to be going over a brand new way to play Lugia V-STAR. The brand new set Pokemon 151 is set to release over the next couple of weeks, and it's expected to shake up the metagame quite a bit. One of the most hyped up cards, Mew EX, works absolutely perfectly with Lugia V-STAR, so today we're going to be going over Mew EX, how it works, and also how it contributes to Lugia V-STAR. With that being said, if you enjoy the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and also the deck list will be in the description as well, but let's hop into it. Alrighty, hopping into the Pokemon in this deck, we have Mew EX. Now, Mew EX is the most hyped up card to come out of the brand new set, Pokemon 151, and it's arguably the best one as well. It has that ability Restart. Once you're your turn, you may draw cards until you have 3 cards in your hand. This card is incredibly powerful. It's going to allow you to draw out of situations when your opponent uses things like Iono or Roxanne to put you to low counts, and then especially paired up with things like Temple of Sinnoh to go through Gift Energy. You're going to be able to draw out of those scenarios much more frequently with this Mew EX, especially because it has that free retreat. You can always promote it after a Pokemon gets knocked out and use that ability to draw up to 3. It also is just going to help thinning your deck a little bit more. One of the problems that Lugia V-STAR runs into is that it doesn't have things like Genesect V's Fusion Strike system, doesn't have flower selecting, doesn't have ways to burn through the deck consistently to be able to thin it out. So oftentimes towards the end of the games, you're left with 25-30 card decks, and you might only have a couple prizes left, which means that you're very prone to getting Iono or Roxanne out of the game. So just being able to draw a little bit more is very, very nice. But the free retreat is also just absolutely incredible. You know, always being able to have this as a pivot Pokemon is just absolutely fantastic. Its attack, though, is what most people are talking about. Genome Hack. You choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon's attacks and use it as this attack. This means that if your opponent has a Giratina V-STAR in the active, you can use Genome Hack to copy Lost Impact. You can also Boss's Orders up things like Radiant Greninja and copy Moonlight Shuriken. This is really annoying for decks that play Radiant Greninja, decks specifically like Gardevoir, decks also like Lost Zone Toolbox. They're all going to have to bench Manaphy if they ever want to put the Radiant Greninja down, because you can Boss's Orders up the Radiant Greninja and then copy its Moonlight Shuriken and wipe 2 small things off the board. So just the threat of this card is really, really annoying for a lot of top tier decks to deal with, and it can also just one-shot things out of the blue whenever you need it to. Since you do play Archeops, you're able to power this up in 1 turn, so it just makes a lot of sense to have in this deck. I think the card is really, really good. I currently have only a couple on the list, but I would not be surprised if there are some decks that really went up to like 3 or 4 of this card and, you know, really relied on that ability Restart, and then also the Genome Hack attack. On top of it, also, we did see Oranguru way back a few years ago that saw lots of play with the Instruct ability that would draw up to 3 cards, which was in quite a few decks. So I think that this ability has proven itself in the past, and I think it's going to prove itself once again as just one of the most powerful abilities. It doesn't get put on very many Pokemon, but when it does, it truly shines. All right, everyone, here is the list that we're going to be running. The list will be in the description as well, so make sure to go check it out, and I'll kind of explain exactly the reasonings behind certain cards. We have 4-3 Lugia here, and that's relatively standard, along with 4 Archeops as well. Pretty much the standard Lugia count. We got ourselves 2 Lumineon because Luminous Sign is still absolutely fantastic. You can get that Boss's Orders when you need it. You can get that Burnet when you need it. If you need to get off the ground by searching out a draw supporter, you got that option with the Lumineon V. We also have 2 Mew EX in this list. I don't think you need 3 or 4. I think 2 is totally fine, as you're not going to be using it in every matchup as an attacker, but it almost is always going to be on the board as like an ability just to draw cards with, and it does, you know, come up a lot of the time as a decent attacker. But I think 2 is the perfect count for this card. I've decided to go down to 1 Snorlax as well. When I've been testing Colorless Lugia, I don't find myself needing 2 Snorlax a whole lot, and especially because Snorlax is good against decks like Gardevoir and also Lost Zone Toolbox. The Mew is also really good because you can copy Moonlight Shuriken with it and take multiple prizes. So I do think that the second Mew does replace the second Snorlax currently in this list, but Snorlax is still a really good card. Being able to Thumping Snore on face Fat is incredibly difficult for Sableye to deal with, and it's just a really strong card as of right now. We still have the Wyrdeer V in the deck, just because there will be some points in time where you need to hit over 300 damage, and you can't do that with Genome Hacks most of the time. So being able to use that Wyrdeer to be able to clean up games with its attack is just incredibly powerful. 1 Pumpkaboo for Path decks, along with the 1 of Radiant Charizard as well. I I personally love Radiant Charizard in this deck. Paired up with Choice Belt, being able to hit for 280 is absolutely phenomenal. Just an incredibly powerful attack right now. A lot of the most powerful cards in the format are sitting around 280 health points, which means that with a Choice Belt, you'll be able to knock that out nice and easy with that Combustion Blast. We have Drapion V in here. On top of it being a fantastic Mew counter, it also provides a great counter to Gardevoir, being able to power it up with the Primal Turbo and then using Boss's Orders to bring up a Gardevoir EX to then attack with the Drapion V's attack is just incredibly powerful, being able to hit 380 damage, knocking out Gardevoir EXs as they are weak to dark. We have one Dunsparce as well, and the reason why we don't play Luxray in this deck anymore is because there's a Dunsparce in it. Dunsparce is really, really good. Dunsparce preventing things like Miraidon from knocking you out early game is incredibly important. One of the problems Lugia runs into is it sometimes just gets ran over. Sometimes they run you over really quickly with things like Raikou, or they go into Miraidon turn 2 and take a knockout, and there's not a whole lot that you can do. So having this Dunsparce does provide a little bit of time that you need to get yourself established, because if you're ever able to take the prize card lead, you're typically okay. So that's the reason as to why I think the Dunsparce is good. It just buys you that important time, and I think Miraidon's going to be an incredibly popular deck, so having that I think is very, very strong. The supporter count is relatively standard: 3 Iono, 3 Professor's Research, 3 Boss's Orders, and then 1 Professor's Burnet. Some people like 2 Burnet. I think 1 Burnet is totally fine. I think that in many games you don't even need it, so just having the 1, you know, for those games where you do need it, it's fine. We got ourselves 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Capturing Aroma, and 2 Nest Ball. Pretty standard for Lugia decks to play this count. I think it's been working out pretty nicely. We have 2 Lost Vacuum. The reason why we have 2 Lost Vacuum is it does provide a Path to the Peak bump, but most importantly, with decks playing Bravery Charm, especially Miraidon, it's really, really nice to be able to Lost Vacuum those Bravery Charms away, so you can take knockouts with things like Tempest Dive or Mew EX more easily. That matchup becomes very, very difficult if you're not able to one-shot them, so having those Lost Vacuums are going to help you out a lot of the time when they do put down Bravery Charms. And it also just provides a Stadium bump as well, so if you're going against a Path to the Peak deck, you can simply just Lost Vacuum that away. So since this deck is also a little bit more streamlined, it doesn't play as many single strike attackers, it has Mew EX as draw support. I also don't think you need Mesagoza, and I also think Mesagoza is kind of a run hot card as well, which was even something I was kind of considering cutting entirely out of single strike Lugia. We saw Daiichi Shimeda, who played in their top 32 list at Worlds. I don't even think they played Mesagoza. They might have just only played one. So I think you can get away with cutting it, especially in a more streamlined Lugia build like this. 1 Choice Belt as well. Choice Belt is really good in a lot of situations. Help you take easier knockouts with Wyrdeer or Mew EX. Also Radiant Charizard as well. Being able to hit 280 is absolutely phenomenal. Honestly, I've considered going up to 2. That's potentially something that you could do, but I do like the Choice Belt in here. 1 Collapsed Stadium. I think Collapse is very good. Collapse could be a second count as well. I think you could go up to 2, but I think that 1 is totally okay. 4 Double Turbo, 3 Jet Energy, 3 Gift Energy, 2 V-Guard, 2 Therapeutic, and 1 Luminous Energy to round out the list. This is what I've been liking as of right now. I think it's really, really strong, and I think that Mew EX really adds a lot to this deck that I didn't have in the past. But anyways, that's gonna do it for me today. I hope that you enjoyed this deck profile on colorless Lugia V-STAR with Mew EX. With that being said, if you enjoyed the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And with that being said, this is SmartTCG. Thank you so much. I love you guys all very much, and I'll speak with you again soon. Peace. If you're looking to improve your game, I do offer coaching on MetaFi. I was ranked in the top 16 ranked players in the world last season, and I know what it takes to improve your game. My students want to combine 3 regionals last year, and I know what it takes to reach that next level. I do offer a free coaching consultation so you can get an idea whether or not coaching works for you. And along with that, I also have a singular sessions, training packages, and more. If you're looking to find out more information, feel free to book that free consultation, or also don't hesitate to shoot me a message on Discord. My Discord will be in the description. All right. Thanks for sitting around and listening to this. I appreciate it. This is SmartTCG. I'll speak with you again soon. Peace out.